First play of the game, Cam Robinson from Alabama versus Myles Garrett, Texas A&M. You'll see Cam Robinson does a very good job with maintaining it, power through his base. You'd like to see him generate more force on that second step, but very good job of leveraging with the hands, gaining inside hand placement, and you'll see the hips come through. Again, a little read action, and you'll see right here Cam generates very good power at the point of attack. Very good job with his hands and good get off. You'd like to see him get just a little lower, but watch the hands load and really strike here. Now pay attention to this. This happens a lot. Cam Robinson is laid out of his stance, but you can still see the power that he generates and the strike that he's able to present at the point of attack. Another strong suit in Cam Robinson's game is his ability to climb and execute blocks on the second level. He does this through very good short area quickness. He does this with body control, and he's able to display power and explosion upon contact. Watch as he drives off his backside foot, works through B-gap, and takes a very good angle up to the second level to block the linebacker. Watch the amount of force and power that he generates upon contact. What I don't like here is how wide his base gets. He kind of loses functionality for a quick second, but is able to overcome it. Again, tremendous power and explosion at the point of attack. You see the lower body mobility and you see the bend here. Watch the hand placement, watch the hips come through. Let's freeze and take a look at this clip from the ground up. You see very good ankle, shin, knee, and hip angles here, which is going to allow for maximal power and force output through the ground here. You see very good ankle flexion here. Okay? Now what I want you to pay attention to is Robinson's ability to re-leverage his hips, use his backside drag hand to clear up the read if the running back was to come this way. Okay? This is important because being able to re-leverage the hips is going to be vital if you get a counter on run or a counter on pass when you're trying to anchor or you're trying to move the point of attack to break stalemates. Consistency in his pass sets is what Cam Robinson needs to continue to develop. Now you'll see right here, he gets a decent initial explosion into his set out of his stance. But then he ends up full man. He ends up opening his hips. But full man and opening his hips is a bad combination because what ends up happening is it gives the defender a two-way go. The consistent ability to create hit, lift, and drive in the run game is pretty impressive. Watch the hips, watch the hand placement, and watch how he's able to leverage at the point of attack to really create movement. Here he's got turn back protection, and we're just looking at the upper body explosiveness he shows. There are times where Cam Robinson picks his spots to set aggressively and end the fight now. This is typically when he's at his best, especially against a tight edge defender as you see here. Now watch what he does here. Quick set, gets hands on now and shows above average ability to anchor here. You'll see the absolute strength in the lower body, and then you'll also see the hand placement. Earlier we talked about Cam's effectiveness on the second level, working to linebackers. No difference here. Good angle here as he climbs, but you'll see his man ends up making the play, and it's almost because of Robinson's length that creates the separation for the linebacker to work off the block. Side view. Again, looking for the ground up. Just a tremendous job of generating force through the ground, outputting tremendous power at the point of attack. Very good leverage with his his pad level, and then also creating leverage with his hands. And then his mentality to just want to get after it and really push the point of attack is pretty special here. Again, looking at the ability to explosively bring the hips and then re-leverage the hips at the point of attack. Watch the hand placement and how the hands and the elbows create leverage as well. You'd like to see him really accelerate his feet and try to drive the edge defender off the ball, but he does a pretty good job of taking care of him. This is Robinson just getting out there, flat out being an athlete, getting out in space, being able to track his target in space, shows good body control to get a hand on a moving target, which is not an easy task, especially when you have a corner or safety that you're trying to track down and execute a block on. But look at this. Just enough. Again, Alabama doesn't ask Cam Robinson to get into many of these situations where he has to actually vertical set and stop edge rushers. But you'll see here, decent explosion into the set, but then still, again, inconsistent with his leverage. He's full man here. And then also, his hands are on target, but he's reaching out to grab instead of having patience and punch. This is really good patience and then hand placement here. Throughout his career, there's been a lot of plays like this next one. Plays that we don't know if they're mental errors on his part, if there's a missed assignment on his part, if it's a miscommunication between him and the guard. We don't know. We're not in the room. But we see this often, and oftentimes it leaves us scratching our head because we just don't know what to really think of it. We will just let this next play roll. Now Alabama gives Cam a little help by body presence here, but this is the best his set and punch has looked against Garrett all game. This is about as close to a Sunday situation as you're going to get for Cam Robinson here. It's third down, and he gets an explosive get-off out of Myles Garrett. Now, what you're going to see here is Robinson fails to set with a little more depth and get to his spot, which would also keep him half man on Garrett. So instead, he opens up his hips, and then he panics. He doesn't trust his punch, so he reaches for him. It actually shortens the corner. If the quarterback doesn't get off the ball, Myles Garrett has got a clean sack here. Very next play, same type of look, same type of situation. Cam does a good job of setting vertical, staying half man, good punch timing right here, his best rep. Another example of him setting to the man instead of setting and getting to his spot, and it shortens the corner. Despite the end result of this play, this may be the most in-depth look at what Cam Robinson can be as far as technique and when it's on point. Now, you would like to see him anchor at the end of this play to take away the sack, but I want you to pay attention to the set, the patience, the even weight distribution, the independent hand usage, and then the initial transition into settling his feet, but he never drops his anchor. So this sack can be on him. The sack can also be a culprit of what is around him. You always hear keep a base when it comes to offensive line. But there are certain blocks where it is okay to narrow. Pay attention to Cam here on the backside of this combo block where he narrows his base and actually generates great force. This is actually coached on that block. This is a very good example of quick mental processing and overall awareness. This is also a good highlight to show good body control by Cam Robinson right here. Watch what he does when he gets movement across his face late, not only by alignment, but also gap exchange. Cuts it off. Again, a Sunday situation about as close as you can get. Watch the dynamic burst that Garrett has off the line. Now watch Cam. Cam is going to panic. He doesn't get to his spot. He doesn't trust his punch timing. He opens his hips. The only positive thing that I really like here is that he shows the feet and the ability to trace the hoop and really run the DN over the top, which allows the quarterback to escape. Let's slow it down.